Let's talk about Platonic epistemology. As promised, this is part 2 in my Philosophy 101 epistemology series. In part 1, we talked about what epistemology even is and who cares. Now we're going to talk about Platonic epistemology. And the reason this is important is that Plato gives a really concrete framework for to what degree you know what you know. And as I've said, at the very top of the hierarchy is episteme, which is understanding, which is knowledge that you can justify with an argument. And episteme is the goal of the Socratic method. It's the reason for asking questions and getting answers and making sure that the answer is agreed upon by both interlocutors before moving on to the next thing. That's the highest thing on the Platonic epistemological hierarchy. Right below episteme, you have correct opinion. And correct opinion is when you have the right answer, you have the right belief, but you can't justify it with an argument. You could say this is something that you've intuited, this is something that you know on instinct, this is something that you saw happening in the world and you've observed it, but you don't know why it's happening. You can't give a logos to defend this argument to other people. That's part of why correct opinion is less valuable than episteme, is that you can't communicate something you understand via intuition to another person. You can't spread knowledge in that way. And the lowest form of knowledge then is ignorance, is not knowledge. I believe we understand what ignorance is. You don't know. And Plato does not value sense data as a means of acquiring knowledge. Stuff that you see, stuff that you hear, information you gather from your senses. This can be totally wrong, this can be ignorance, or it can be correct opinion. It can be you happen to guess right, but you can't explain why it's right. To Plato, sense data will never, in and of itself, be episteme. And that is the Platonic epistemological hierarchy. Say that out, it's so fun to say. And why should you care about this? Because if you are a person who values wisdom, intelligence, truth, all these sorts of things, you want to hold rigorous standards for what knowledge is worth defending, what knowledge is worth truly believing in your soul and trying to convince others of and fight for. And the true philosopher knows there's not really any value in being right. There's value in knowing the truth. This can apply to any sort of question. How should I act? How should I love? How should I think? Is this thought that is circling in my head worth anything? Is there any truth to it? Or am I just spiraling over something that I've totally made up? There are many uses for episteme, for reasoned argument. Follow to hear more about Plato, practical Platonism. Everything is Platonic.